finisher either. No. Way too nice.
Yeah, he'd never be that angry at anything.
No way. Someone knows on social media. Because Brennan is definitely Peter Parker. This is my thing.
It's just a spitting image.
He just looks like Spider-Man, which is cool. I like it. It's a good character for him to play. I wonder if he's ever been Spider-Man for Halloween, because that'd just be too easy, maybe. Swamp, Inquisition to Kozilek. Here we go. Can't take Collected Company, but you can take these. It's Bird's Paradise, Scavenging Ooze, Court of Calling, and Gavany Township. Here for Brennan Decandio.
And the question in this matchup is if all of Reid's spot removal that he has can keep up with the card advantage that this Collected Company deck can just churn out onto the board. The Collected Companies, the Court of Callings, 4 Eternal Witness. This deck is able to fight through a whole lot of spot removal and still do its thing.
Yeah, Reid's deck does have a lot of spot removal, as you mentioned. He's got 4 Fatal Push, 2 Lightning Bolt, an Abrupt Decay, 3 Terminates, and if you want to consider Maelstrom Pulse and Kolaghan's Command spot removal, you can. He's got, and that doesn't even take into account Liliana the Veil. Yep. He's got a lot of ways to kill creatures. He's going to take Birds of Paradise. Here comes Noble Hierarch in for 1. This is a Gavany Township. That is a Scavenging Ooze, and the turn is over for Brennan Decandio. To Reid, Duke will go. He draws a card, picked up a copy of Terminate, does have a Forest in his hand. Not sure if he has any red sources just yet, but we'll find out, I'm sure.
Yeah, Forest and Terminate are not friends.
Not a combo.
No.
No. Does have a copy of Tarmogoyf in hand as well. See, he's already in the tank on the second turn of the game.
I think you're going to get a lot of obscure answers from people. People that are really into comic books. There's a lot of heroes out there that, I'm not a big comic book guy, but I know that the comic book universe is just filled with heroes every corner.
Oh yeah. So I used to collect comic book cards when I was young.
Okay.
Because my dad, he's like big into comic books. My dad has so many comic books at home, but my brain's just not working right now about what comic book hero Reid could be. I mean, it could be someone from like X-Force or X-Factor. I'm just not thinking of. But someone out there has got an idea, and I'm willing to hear it. As Brennan has picked up a Horizon Canopy. He's going to remove some creatures with Scavenging Ooze to turn his Ooze into a 4/4 and beat down for exactly 4.
I like this. Just get to work.
Get it out of bolt range, even though Reid's deck doesn't play a lot of bolts. This might be part of the reason why.
But it's also we've seen Reid use a removal spell on a Noble Hierarch. That's not really that threatening of a card. Mm-hmm. You're okay if your opponent kills that. The Ooze is a good card, but you're okay if your opponent kills that.
Yeah, that's true.
None of these are the combo pieces that he's trying to put together. We know that he still has Collected Company and Court of Calling in his hand.
And Decandio has the 4th land there in a basic plains, and he's simply going to pass the turn back. Remember when Reid sent over an Inquisition to Kozilek, Brennan only had 1 more land at Gavany Township, so he was able to draw a Horizon Canopy and a Plains to work himself to the very powerful green instant, which we will see here in just a moment. Reid going to search up a Blood Crypt that's going to enter the battlefield tapped off of the Verdant Catacombs. As Duke's already down to 11 here. And now he'll untap those 3 lands and begin his 4th turn of the game. Remember, we're going to see a Collected Company here from Brennan in just a moment. Reid is going to play a Forest. This is a Dark Confidant. That is a Tarmogoyf. And the coast is clear for Collected Company. Decandio will have to take 1 to cast it thanks to the Horizon Canopy, but he's going to take a look at the top 6, and we'll see if he can put 2 awesome creatures onto the battlefield.
We'll see if we can get a Tarmo die onto the board.
Ooh, maybe.
Not to be confused with the Tarmodi.
Yes. Your new project.
My brainchild.
Yes. Eternal Witness will have a trigger. Likely going to get back Collected Company. Yep. Not much of a surprise there.
Yep, and this is where if he can Collected Company into a Vizier, or just draw it.
Or just draw one.
Yep, that's game.
Yep.
That's it. All the mana he wants. He already has the Court of Calling.
Yep.
Brennan makes this look so easy.
He does. He does. So what's he got a quarter calling for? Duskwatch Recruiter. And now he's going to activate Duskwatch Recruiter all the times. Find himself a walking ballista. I like Reid making him go through it. This is great.
Brennan's trying to tell him.
This is great.
He's like, hey, I've got all the mana. I can do this as many times as I want. And Reid's like, all right, do it as many times as you want.
I love this. So he gets to look at the top 3. There's the walking ballista. He's going to play walking ballista for. If Reid has like a slaughter pact, then sure. But Reid will
that
make
would
him
have
go through
happened
it.
already.
Well, so it's a very Reid thing to do, which is say you have to go through the whole thing because he doesn't concede.
Yeah.
You know, like the opponent might make a mistake, or like the card not might be in your deck or something. Like
just a little more information.
Yeah.
Is it Emrakul? Is it walking ballista? What are you working with there?
Absolutely. Reid's just going to make you go through the paces really quick, finish it up, and that's exactly what Decandio did. And Spider-Man up a game over unnamed superhero as Connor's Company up a game over John. We go to the sideboards here. Reid is going to try to interact. We'll go over his 15 cards with 3 Fulminator Mage, 2 Collective Brutality, 2 Kitchen Finks, 2 Grafdigger's Cascade, 2 Leyline of the Void, 2 Ancient Grudge, a Shatterstorm, and I think the best one there, a Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah, the Grim Lavamancer is going to come in. It's going to turn all of his spot removal into basically more spot removal. We're going to see these Grafdigger's Cages come in. And Collective Brutality seems just like super versatile card. It's going to kill any of the early drops and strip one of the powerful spells out of his opponent's hand. There's a little bit of a question about Leyline of the Void. The power of these company decks now is that they don't have to use the graveyard to generate their infinite loop.
Yeah, no more Kitchen Finks persist combo, yeah.
Well, and it has that. You know, a lot of these decks have a Viscera Seer, Kitchen Finks with the Vizier is infinite life, but they don't need that. That's just gravy on top of what they already do. So I doubt he's going to bring in the Leyline, but if he did bring it in, it's because of the potential of that combo. It's because of the Eternal Witnesses. He's going to try to fight his card advantage that way.
Other side of things here for Decandio. 3 Path to Exile, 2 Abrupt Decay, and here come the fun ofs. Skosali Pride Mage, Eidolon of Rhetoric, Linvala Keeper of Silence, Orzhov Pontiff, Even Mind Center, Phyrexian Revoker, Big Game Hunter, Tidehollow Sculler, and Liliana, The Last Hope. What do we like there for Brennan?
This is an interesting sideboard situation. Brennan is, I think he's already pretty well set up for this type of matchup. He might want just a smattering of removal now. The Tidehollow Sculler is never terrible. The Big Game Hunter can take down Termagoyfs no problem. I wonder if he thinks that Reid's not going to have much pressure at all, if he just rocks out the Liliana the Last Hope. It's going to eat Grim Lavamancers, it eats Dark Confidants, and it threatens to go ultimate if Reid's not doing a whole lot on the other side of the board. Yeah,
that could be a good one to have. It's not something that you want 3 or 4 copies of.
No, yeah.
Seems like a perfect one of. Well, these players are going to shuffle up the sideboard, and we're going to get ready here for game number 2. So first, while they do that, let's talk about Tarmodai, not Tarmodi.
Okay.
Your hoodie that is in production that many people have been enjoying on social media. We'll talk about Tarmodai. It's a way to keep track of your creature's power and toughness in style. We'll sell them in single dice and sets of 4. They're available now. You can get them at SCG Tour stops like this one here in Baltimore or the one in Charlotte 2 weeks from now, or at go.starcitygames.com/Tarmodai for more information. As now we get ready for game number 2. Let's learn more about Peter Parker, shall we? That's Brennan Decandio. On your left, the 27-year-old from Long Island, New York, with his 6 open top 8s and back-to-back open wins across this year. And at the end of last year when we were in Atlanta, has the complete set of Dragon Ball Z series and watches it once a year. He's a big fan of Chipotle and self-proclaimed, we should put that in caps, catchphrase master. I don't think that he's bad. I'm not saying that I think he's bad. I just don't think he's as good as he thinks he is.
I think you...
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think you eat more Chipotle than he does?
No.
No, okay.
No. I dialed it back quite a bit, actually. I only go like once a week now.
Okay.
I only go sometimes twice a week if I'm feeling it, but yeah, mostly I just go once a week. Get my little burrito bowl. It's super boring, but it's good after workouts, and then I go about my day.
So the only thing you take issue with here is the catchphrase master.
Do you remember, I don't know if you were playing a bunch in like 2010 when catchphrase kind of broke out around Magic for a little while? There was a Nationals in Kansas City where it was just... catchphrase was everywhere. It's like me, Tom Martell, Matt Sperling, Phil Navoli, like all the Jason Ness was the judge.
Okay.
Like he was playing. I think Sheldon was playing. Like it just in between rounds, everyone was just like, "Who's got the catchphrase machine? Let's go play." And we found out very quickly who the masters of catchphrase were.
Sure.
I don't want to toot my own horn. But,
yes, you do.
But But beating me, Tom Martell, and Matt Sperling was basically impossible.
I like it when you say, I don't want to toot my own horn, and then you don't end there.
No.
Like, that should be the end of the discussion, right?
Beep,
I don't want to toot my own horn.
Beep, beep.
Beep, yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty despite the dishonesty.
Yeah. We were a trio unlike any other. Martell, Sperling, and I take great pride. And it was funny, right? Because it was like one weekend in KC where it was huge, and then people tried to make fetch happen again. It was like, we're kind of off it. Just people were bringing catchphrase machines after like more Grand Prix. Like, do you guys want to play it? It's like, not really.
We already did this.
Yeah, it's kind of like what happened with Codenames.
Yes.
It was like really big for like 2 Grand Prix, and then everyone was like, whatever.
Yeah, Codenames was a blast.
It's really fun.
And now?
Really fun game.
Never again.
Decandio's taking a look at 6 cards. While he does that, he's going to scry now. Top card's going to become the bottom card. Many people saying Reid is Captain America.
I can see that.
He's wholesome AF. Can't say that out loud.
AF?
Yeah, can't say that. They
He's
battle.
wholesome F.
Yeah, they battle in Civil War even though they would be bros. Well, that's fun by Neon Eternal. Reid would definitely be Batman. He does have kind of a Batman voice. Here's a thought season.
He doesn't have the dark past.
I know. At least we don't know about it.
I think Captain America was a good one.
We also have Mr. Fantastic, the Fantastic Four. The problem with that is the Fantastic Four are so lame.
They're so lame.
And Reid is not lame. The Thoughtseize shows Liliana the Last Hope, Quarter Calling, Abrupt Decay, Walking Ballista, and then 2 lands here in Horizon Canopy and Windswept Heath.
Yeah, not a great hand for Brennan, but you already mulligan once. You don't want to go to 5.
No, you just got to keep.
Yeah. And we had talked about that Liliana potentially coming in. There it is.
Tarmogoyf the draw for Reid. I feel almost bad for the Fantastic Four franchise. It's like, I think, like on the whole, like I kind of like Mr. Fantastic and like The Thing and Human Torch and stuff, but the movies have just done that series. All of them are bad.
They're so painful. There
was the Jessica Alba, who played the Human? Chris Evans, who was the Human Torch. Chiklis, Michael Chiklis was The Thing. I can't remember who played Mr. Fantastic because it's like some kind of irrelevant actor.
Sure, but you hear these names and you're like, all right.
Might be able to put a little something together here.
Yeah, they got something going on here.
Yeah, horrible. And then the next iteration.
I didn't even see the next one.
You're so smart. Miles Turner, Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Bell, I think, was The Thing. I can't remember who. Kate Mara. And it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Worse than X-Men Apocalypse. And that should carry a lot of weight.
That's another movie I haven't seen.
That should carry a lot of weight with you, how bad it was.
So Brennan has an interesting choice here. He has a Devoted Druid in his hand and the Court of Calling, which means if Reid doesn't have a removal spell,
he can just go, yeah.
He's got the quote game winner.
Mm-hmm. It's just so likely as a removal spell.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to expose that card.
Reid is going to play Dark Confidant. I think we're going to see an Abrupt Decay here in just a moment. Could also get it done with Walking Ballista, to be fair. And save the Abrupt Decay for something like Liliana the Veil.
Yeah, Brennan does have 2 Walking Ballistas in his list.
Mm-hmm. And if one goes to the graveyard,
just get it back with the Eternal Witness.
Oh, the Eternal Witness, so you're still totally fine. So he's just going to use Walking Ballista to take care of Dark Confidant, play a Verdant Catacombs, pass the turn back. Reid is going to sacrifice a Wooded Foothills. He'll lose a little bit of life, search up a Ravnica Duel, and we'll be going to his 4th turn in a moment.
Well, and we saw with Collected Companies and Eternal Witnesses, Brennan can play a little slower game. He's got a couple of removal spells. He wisely hung on to the Abrupt Decay in case a Planeswalker like Liliana of the Veil shows up. He still has an answer for it.
Yep.
And he's just like, all right, let's play a little bit of a longer game. If I draw a Collected Company, if I draw an Eternal Witness, I've got this Court of Calling going on. Like, I'm ready for this.
You don't mind going long against Jun with this deck.
Yeah.
At least. Because you do have cards like Collected Company and Court of Calling and Eternal Witness, like you mentioned. So let's play a couple turns. Let's buckle down. Reid Duke is definitely Bruce Banner. I don't know. Could he hawk up? I don't see it. But many people wouldn't expect Bruce Banner to be able to hawk up either.
That's fair.
Seems like such a mild-mannered gentleman. Temple Garden here off the Verdant Catacombs.
I just can't see him being that angry.
Nah.
Captain America was a good one.
So wholesome.
Yeah, he's always just the best intentions all the time.
Doing the right thing. Collected Company of the Draw. Really good Magic card. So wholesome. Abrupt Decay, going to take care of Dark Confidant. Curious if Brennan wants to play Devoted Druid. He does, okay. Reid's going to cross that off his list. I think he might kill it here with the Lightning Bolt. Yep. We're untapping now. Reid will sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire. Let's see what comes next here for Duke.
Yeah,
there's a basic swamp.
Devoted Druid is just so dangerous.
It's funny, right?
Hey, don't let me untap with an 0-2 in play.
Yeah. You played a Mana Accelerant, I have to kill that. If I don't kill that, I'm going to lose immediately. This is Chandra, Torch of Defiance. Going up to 5. Top card, Liliana the Veil. Decandio's going to take 2. He will draw. Looks like 2 companies and a chord, folks.
A lot of cards coming.
Yep, those cards are good. Reid's going to untap. And he's going to draw.
Reid really mapping out his turn here. He's wondering if he wants to get mana out of this Chandra. If he wants to go digging for a card.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he might be getting some mana here. Scavenging Ooze. And leaving 3 mana up. And now he's got a Tarmogoyf. So he had 2 red mana from the Chandra.
Yep.
Use 1 red plus a green for Scavenging Ooze. Same thing can be said for a Tarmogoyf. 2 mana left. Here is Collected Thumpany. Top 6. Let's see how Decandio does. There's at least a Kitchen Finks.
We'll see if Brennan can find a way to win this game. I mean, Reid's side of the board is pretty intimidating.
It's not bad. It's not bad. He's starting to get a little bit of a battlefield going.
What superhero would you be?
Great question. I'm not sure. I'd probably prefer to be a super villain, honestly.
Okay.
Electro is one of my favorites in the Spider-Man universe, but Jamie Foxx's portrayal was so bad that I kind of want to get myself away from that.
Yeah, I can see.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Really, really not good.
Just really unfortunate.
Yeah. Way too many bad electricity puns for my taste, personally. It's just tough character to enjoy.
It's like 40 of them. Like
It's tough, really not good. I have to think about that. I'm a really big fan of the Winter Soldier. Six, 7 Tarmogoyf, pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big creature. Keep in mind, Decandio got back Abrupt Decay. With that Eternal Witness, he could have gotten back Collected Company, but he already has one of those in his hand, so he's looking to, grind and control out the Jund deck, which this Counters Company deck does have the ability to do.
Yeah, I wonder if he wants to kill this Goyf and start attacking the Chandra.
Looks like he wants to kill.
And that was the other question was, does he want to protect his graveyard?
Yeah. Interesting.
As long as he doesn't want to be attacking, he can block this Goyf a lot. He can take some damage. He has the Kitchen Finks.
Mm-hmm.
We know he already has another Collected Company and a Court of Calling, so he can turtle up here all day as long as that Chandra doesn't go ultimate on him.
Terminate's going to kill Devoted Druid. And now Reid Duke is empty-handed, so that Chandra's got some work to do. Reid 4 lands, Chandra on 6, and a Tarmogoyf. Mystery card in hand.
Another land would be helpful with that Raging Ravine.
Yeah, if you want to go that route. Something like a Thoughtseize wouldn't be so bad if you were to pick one up. Brennan's hand right now, arguably the 2 most powerful cards in his deck in Collected Company and Court of Calling.
Yeah, I like that Brennan was patient with the second Collected Company.
Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. Here comes Tarmogoyf. Remember, 6/7. If Kitchen Finks blocks, it's not coming back. So Decandio is going to take 6. And now Chandra's going to take care of that Kitchen Finks for good because Grafdigger's Cage will not allow for it to come back. Pretty timely draw there from Reid.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Viscera Seer, the draw here for Decandio. Remember, Grafdigger's Cage, 1-mana artifact, very powerful. Creatures can't enter the battlefield from graveyards or libraries. Players can't cast cards in graveyards or libraries. Sacrifice a Horizon Canopy. Eternal Witness is going to knock Chandra down to 1. This is Gavity Township. That is a Viscera Seer. And Decandio will pass the turn back over to Reid Duke. Reid will draw.
That Cage was such a good draw.
Not bad. Not bad.
You know, Brennan has to block this Goyf, otherwise Chandra finishes the game off. Another land would open up the Raging Ravine.
This game gets hard now. It was looking pretty easy.
Yeah, Brennan had all the time in the world when he had the Kitchen Finks that was going to come back.
And it's funny too, right? Because I think that, you know, the thought process with killing Scavenging Ooze was I get to block with the Kitchen Finks, so it'll come back and persist.
Yep.
And that's basically 2 turns of blocking Tarmogoyf and being okay, and now all of a sudden, Kitchen Finks is long gone.
And both the powerful cards in his hand are blanked as well.
Yep. So it took 1 card to change things around here for Reid Duke, but he found it in Grafdigger's Cage, and now Brennan Decandio is the one with his back up against the wall. Reid is going to start by plushing Chandra, and that's going to allow him to turn on Raging Ravine.
I like it.
That's going to get a counter. Here he comes with the very large Tarmogoyf and the Ravine. So it looks like 4 damage is going to get through. Brennan's going to block Tarmogoyf, and now he will scry with his Viscera Seer. Top card is now going to become the bottom card. He'll take 4. He'll fall to 4. Another Ravine here for Duke, and he will simply pass the turn back. Decandio will draw. Looks like another copy of Kitchen Finks, which is not so bad. Eternal Witness is going to take care of that. Finks here is going to bring Brennan up to 6. So all it takes is a removal spell here for Reid to win the game. He'll draw. He'll fire up Raging Ravine. It's going to get a counter. Going to jump in front of Tarmogoyf. Brennan's going to fall down to 1. What can he draw now? An Eternal Witness. How good is it? Well, it's actually not great because his colored mana situation is a disaster.
Yeah, he really needed a 1-mana removal spell there. And he has Abrupt Decay instead.
Yeah, you look at his lands too. He's got a Temple Garden, 2 Gavany Townships, and Overgrown Tomb. So he's going to get back Abrupt Decay. And if Reid does fire up Raging Ravine here, it's going to force Brennan as Serious Inquisition of Kozilek, and he does not want to show his hand. So he will just concede the game. And Reid Duke going to win game number 2 here over Brennan Decandio.
And we see a little bit of gamesmanship there where Reid can just attack. And he's like, oh, I want to take a peek at what you have before this game ends.
Pretty swingy game.
Yeah.
I thought when Decandio had second company.
Yeah, oh no, it was done.
We were all done.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's Grafdigger's Cage invalidating basically everything you're doing.
One, and we see the Jund deck just flip the switch to going aggressive.
Yep.
A 2-mana 6/7. The Raging Ravines get out of control quick. They trample.
Yeah, they do not trample.
They do not trample.
They do not trample. They get a counter when they attack. They do not trample.
Shoot.
Your Raging Ravines must be better than everyone else's Raging Ravines.
Shoot, I hate it when I get a card wrong.
That's okay. That's okay.
You know what? It's been a good run.
No, you can stay.
I got a little more in me.
I can't Vince Scully this thing. I don't know how Vince Scully the thing. So I certainly can't Vince Scully the thing.
He only did it once.
Yeah. Once for 30 years?
Yeah.
Or some egregiously long amount. Decandio going to be on the play here for game number 3. Reid will be on the draw. You did see some of the power of Chandra. You did see the absolute power of Grafdigger's Cage, which is, of course, a haymaker for this matchup. And we'll see how things do go here for game number 3. But in the meantime, we are going to talk about the StarCityGames.com newsletter. It is your source for Magic the Gathering news.
It is my source.
Yours. Nobody else's.
No.
It is just
they can
Craig's
get
source.
in on this.
Are you charging for it?
No.
No.
Are you kidding?
It's free. Free! Highlights from some of our best articles on the website, upcoming SCG Tour dates and locations. You can find invitational qualifiers and game nights near you, and of course, the exclusive Cardboard Crack comic. Best of all, it is free to sign up for it. Go to StarCityGames.com/newsletter. Sign up today. You're going to be on the internet anyway, so you might as well get some free and fun magical news. And now, as we get ready to watch Jund and Counters Company one more time, now we take the moment to learn a little bit more about Reid Duke. How's he only 27?
He's got his whole future ahead of him.
How's he only 27? I don't understand. He's been playing for so long.
Yep.
I remember the first time I played against Reid. It was the Nationals in 2010.
How'd that go for you?
All right. Now, I'm not too much. I won.
Okay.
I won. He actually, this is crazy to say, he made a mistake when he played against me.
That was probably the last time
that he's made a mistake.
Made a mistake.
He made like a small error. He was playing a green-white deck, and I was playing Mythic. He made like a small mistake during our third game, and I wouldn't say he's mad, but he's like, yeah, I screwed up on like turn 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't when Reid Duke was Reid Duke.
Sure.
He was way back in like the beginning. Way back at the beginning in like 2009, 2010, Jerry had made like a forum for Magic players, like around the up and coming Magic players and stuff, just to throw ideas back and forth. And Reid was in there, and so I had we had like talked and stuff, but I never met him in real life. So when we played against each other at National, it was like our first time meeting each other, and he was already really good. You never know if someone's going to become this good,
or
not during those exchanges and conversations and games that you play on Magic Online and stuff. But obviously, his game only improved over time, but it has a lot to do with him always having the right attitude about the game. That was always the biggest thing. Is some people get upset about their losses and blame things on luck and everything like that, and Reid has just always had the right attitude about Magic.
Oh yeah, he has no problem talking about the decisions he made in games. He'll admit what his mistakes were.
Yeah.
And he walks away trying to learn from the game, and he rarely seems upset about anything.
The biggest thing I always take away from watching Reid play every time, as here's another copy of Grim Lavamancer and there's an Overgrown Tomb, is he never takes a turn too fast. Ever. Like something as simple as, I'm going to play Grim Lavamancer, play Overgrown Tomb, pass. It takes a moment, thinks it through, and then makes his play. And, a lot of people I think are guilty of playing too quickly sometimes, as here's a Scavenging Ooze, going to eat that Grim Lavamancer, going to keep the graveyard in check. It's the Scavenging Ooze from allowing Grim Lavamancer to take care of the Birds of Paradise, but he always takes his time on his turns, even if the turn seems super straightforward. It's going to take some time to think things through. That's my favorite thing. I mean, outside of the fact that, he rarely makes a mistake. My favorite thing about watching him play is he's always cool, calm, and collected. Here he's got to figure out a way to overcome Scavenging Ooze. Now remember, he does have a lot of spot removal in his deck, 4 Fatal Pushes this weekend.
Yep, a lot of cards in his hand. So if he has a removal spell here, he'll play that first, then he'll play a fetch land if he wants to get the bird off of the board.
For now, it's just the Blackleaf Cliffs, and he's going to play a Liliana. And he'll minus. Make Decandio make a decision. And the decision is, lose your Birds of Paradise. He'll now eat the Birds of Paradise with the Scavenging Ooze. He's got to pay a life with the Rising Canopy, but he gains it back. So it's net neutral, and Scavenging Ooze becomes a 4/4. The Vizier of Remedies, along with the Selfless Spirit in hand, a Plains, and a Gavany Township here for Brennan. Scavenging Ooze going to go after Liliana, and Reid will let the Planeswalker go.
And with some of these sideboard cards like Selfless Spirit coming in, it tells you that Brennan, he's prepared to play a grindier value game. He's like, all right, if I combo, that's great, but I don't need to win this game.
I'm curious about how he sideboarded, if he de-emphasized the combo some. You know, did he board out some number of Viziers or Devoted Druids?
Yeah.
Maybe yes, maybe no. He'll play a Selfless Spirit for now. Pass the turn back. You saw Brennan remove the Liliana the Veil as well. Now, he doesn't gain any life from that, from Scavenging Ooze, but he just wants to keep the graveyard in check.
Yeah, it's all about nullifying that Grim Lavamancer for as long as possible. And I can tell you, if Brennan didn't bring in that Kasali Pride Mage for the second game, it's in there now.
You think so?
After that Graph Digger's
After
Cage?
that cage, yeah. Yeah. With how good that card was last game. Swamp. Oh. Olivia Voldaren.
That's a big one.
That's a one-up in Reid's main. And Decandio has a Forest, a Plains, and a Vizier in his hand.
Well, he has the Gavin Township.
He does.
So that's something.
It's not much. You know, he could Township right now.
Yeah.
Put a counter on each one of his creatures, make Selfless Spirit into a 3/2, but Olivia can still shoot that down.
Yep.
And then start to get to work on the old shooting and taking of the ooze.
Yeah, Olivia's got a lot of text on her.
And let's keep in mind, Reid's life total before this attack comes through, he's at 20. So he's got a lot of life to work with.
Yep.
Here is your Township activation. Brennan's got to lose a little bit of life to do it because of the Rising Canopies, plural. But Township will put some counters on here, and now Reid, it looks like the coast is somewhat clear here for the Jund player. The question, of course, is does he have a removal spell that's clean for the Scavenging Ooze? Because that will make things pretty darn easy.
Yeah, that'll clean up the board real quick. It's a little surprising to see a Grim Lavamancer on the board for this long.
And do nothing?
Against a bunch of low toughness creatures.
Yeah.
And just never get activated.
Yep. Looks like 4 cards here for Reid. Don't have a great look at him.
And this is what you were talking about. Very methodical with its turn.
Doesn't ever rush. Never ever. You never know how strong or weak Reid's hand is when you play against him. Because he always just plays the same way. Kolaghan's Command.
Yeah, this is going to be deal 2, discard. And I love that Reid's rocking a Zendikar t-shirt.
Yeah.
Zendikar.
Kolaghan's Command will work. Now, Selfless Spirit did get sacrificed in response, and Brennan did discard a Forest. The follow-up here for Duke is Verdant Catacombs. Olivia will attack for 3 in the air. Brennan will fall down to 14 and pass. And untap. And draw. Collected Company is a great place to start here for Brennan Decandio.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, ideally, the card he draws is Path to Exile.
That would be a better one.
Some way to clean out the Olivia.
But this Ooze is a good clock.
Not bad at all. There goes Selfless Spirit. Brennan will gain life, looking to deal a healthy amount of damage. 6, looks like it's going to come through. Reid not going to block there with the Grim Lavamancer, valuing that card very highly. He's going to fall down to 5 now from the Verdant Catacombs. Brennan going to take a look at Olivia. We can do the same. Might be a little unfamiliar.
It's a lot of text.
Yeah, 4-mana 3/3 flyer. Olivia Voldaren for a colorless and a red will deal 1 damage to another target creature. That creature becomes a vampire in addition to its other creatures.
Its other types.
Its other types, excuse me, and then put a +1/+1 counter on Olivia. And then for 3 black, gain control of target vampire for as long as you control Olivia Voldaren. Super beatable and limited, really easy to kill. Yeah, super fun to play against. Yeah. Very, very enjoyable. It was actually really good in the standard format too in that Jund deck. Land 6? Maybe. Looks like it might be a Raging Ravine. It's actually going to be a Black Cleave Cliffs. And Reid says, I'm all done.
Yeah, I think he really sniffed out the Collected Company here. You know, Brennan would have used the Scavenging Ooze more potentially.
5, 6. Now this is where things get a little interesting, Craig.
Yeah, so he hit the infinite mana combo, which Reid is going to want to break up. But by breaking it up, it means he's got to wait a whole nother turn before he can start stealing things.
Yep.
With Olivia.
Now wow, okay, so he's going to go Devoted Druid and Viscera Seer.
Well, he does have a Vizier in his hand already.
True.
And this allows him to sacrifice the things that Olivia tries to steal.
Also true. Because the plan, I think, was to steal Scavenging Ooze.
Yes.
And that's no longer an option now.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, Reid just wants Scavenging Ooze off the battlefield, but he's got to earn it now to be able to do it. So things are getting very interesting now.
Well, and he maybe he doesn't even get to steal it right away because he's scared of the Devoted Druid.
Yep. So now we turn our attention back to Duke. Remember, this is all at the end of Reid's turn.
And Reid has only 2 red sources. You know, ideally Reid would go something like shoot the Devoted Druid twice. Oh no, he only needs 2 red sources. He can ping the Viscera Seer if he wants and activate the Lavamancer.
Okay, okay. But still, that Ooze is still a problem because it's so big.
Yes.
It would be attacking 4 lethal. Bird of Paradise to draw. That one's not much of anything.
Not the most exciting one.
No.
And now that Brennan has untapped, the Gavany Township comes into play. A lot of layers here.
There are. Even more layers.
Even more layers.
Because he is leading out with the Vizier of Remedies. And with this, in combination with Devoted Druid, as we all know by now, if we've been watching this weekend, this is infinite mana. Now, is there much that Brennan can do with this infinite mana? Not really. Right now, his only card in hand is Birds of Paradise.
Yep.
But he does have the ability to do some scrying with Viscera Seer, and he has 2 Horizon Canopies.
And Reid doesn't know what's in Brennan's hand.
No clue.
But yeah, like you said, with the infinite mana, he can cash in both the canopies after scrying a couple times.
No. However he wants to go about kind of organizing it, he can do. Now we know, just like you do at home, that it's just a Birds of Paradise in his hand. Not a lot going on there. So Reid is going to shoot the Devoted Druid. Looks like in response to the Vizier. So will Brennan respond to that shot by untapping it and getting some mana? Remember, the Vizier is not resolved yet.
Correct, on the stack.
Still on the stack.
This imaginary place where spells go.
Yeah.
Before they end up on the battlefield.
They do, yeah. It's like a table or something. I'm not sure what the stack actually looks like. When we get to the Magic movie, they'll have a nice thing. It'll look nice.
Sure.
The stack. Once we get to the Magic movie.
The Magic movie.
X years from now. Let's assume there's a Magic movie coming.
Featuring Cedric A. Phillips.
And the stack.
And featuring the stack. The stack is going to get its own IMDb credits. Start making cameos in other movies.
That'd be a little rough. Devoted Druid is going to be sacrificed to Viscera Seer.
Maybe.
No, it's gone. So he's scrying. Yeah,
he's already scrying.
Yeah, he's scrying.
Sure.
Taking a long look at this card, though. We don't know what it is, but Brennan wants to draw it. Ooze the boss. Devoted Drew kind of
Look at you, the pun master.
I know. So Vizier's in. Lava Mancer blocked. Olivia trying to hold down the fort. Here comes Birds of Paradise. Decandio empty-handed. We know that he kept the top card on top of his deck from the scry. He knows what it is.
Yeah, probably not a Path to Exile.
You don't think so?
Well, he just would have drawn it right away, right? With the Horizon
Yeah,
Canopy?
true. Very true. We go to Duke now. Captain America trying to foil Spider-Man here. He's got 6 lands.
Yeah, and this is so interesting.
Well, we have seen games like this. It feels like a couple years ago, where it was Olivia Voldaren versus an army of kind of small creatures. Jenna Olivia would hold on,
Sure.
to get the job done here because she grows. You're drawing cards, all that good stuff. So first things first, Reid's going to go after Viscera soon. Brennan will sacrifice and scry. Still wants to leave that card on top.
I liked it before. I like it now.
Apparently. Shoot Birds of Paradise. Gain some life. Reid will pass. My question is, has he drawn a push, a terminate, or an abrupt decay for the Scavenging Ooze?
It's going to be real tough for him if he hasn't.
Yeah. Ooze is going to grow. Net neutral on life since he had to use the Horizon Canopy. It's up to a 7/7. Decandio is going to sacrifice Canopy to draw a card. He asks, can I untap? I don't think so. Fatal Push. I'm dying to know what that card is now. It was Eternal Witness.
And then he drew collected. No, Bird.
Bird. So how does Eternal Witness work itself into this game?
Awkwardly.
I mean, he really wanted it.
But with all the mana that Reid has, I feel like you had to prioritize getting this Olivia off of the battlefield.
All right, so we're going to... So this is tough, because if you want to try to go back to this grindy route with Collected Company...
Oh, no, Olivia's such a clock now.
It's so big, yeah. It's a 6/6 right now.
And it's about to be bigger, right?
Yeah, it can just turn into an 8/8. Shoot down the Vizier, shoot down the Eternal Witness. Yep, that's dead.
If he wants to use his mana for something else, he can just ignore that Witness. That's not a dangerous card right now.
Right. Oh, Thoughtseize is huge. Oh, boy. There goes the Company. Shoot down the Witness. In we go. Decandio's down to 4, and it better be Path, my friend. He'll draw.
Cash in the Horizon Canopy.
He'll show 3 irrelevant cards, and that is going to do it. Reid Duke going to win this match over Brennan Decandio. Captain America takes care of Spider-Man as Jund takes care of Collected Company.